Throughout history, humans have always been obsessed with speed. Ancient Greeks had Hermes, the messenger god. Romans had their chariots. We had horses, then cars, then jets. But none of that prepared us for what happened when a tall, lanky kid from Jamaica decided to run really, really fast and make everyone else look like they were running through molasses. The humble lightning bolt. Our story begins on August 21st, 1986, in Sherwood Content, a small town in Jamaica that sounds more like a vacation resort than the birthplace of a legend. Usain Street, Leo Bolt was born during a thunderstorm. And I'm not making that up for dramatic effect. It's actually true. The universe was literally announcing his arrival with lightning and thunder. Talk about foreshadowing. Growing up, Bolt was that kid who was tall, awkward, and looked like a baby giraffe learning to walk. At 6 feet 5 inches, he was practically a giant in a sport dominated by shorter, more compact athletes. Track coaches took one look at him and said, "Maybe try basketball?" It was like suggesting Michael Phelps should try synchronized swimming because he's too tall for regular swimming. But here's the thing about Bolt. He was fast. Not just, I can beat my friends in a race fast, but did that kid just break the sound barrier? Fast. His high school coach, Pablo McNeil, noticed that this gangly teenager could run like the wind itself was afraid of being left behind. Fun fact, Bolt's first love wasn't actually track and field. It was cricket. He wanted to be a fast bowler, which is basically cricket's version of a pitcher. Imagine if the fastest man alive had spent his career throwing cricket balls instead of running. The sport of track and field would still be waiting for someone to break those records. The early speed demon. By 2002, 15-year-old Bolt is already making waves at the World Junior Championships and becoming the youngest ever World Junior gold medalist. Picture this. While most teenagers are figuring out how to text without looking at their phones, Bolt is out here running faster than most adults can drive in a school zone. The early 2000s were Bolt's learning to be superhuman phase. He's dealing with injuries, growing pains. Literally, the guy was still growing. And coaches who kept trying to turn him into a 400-meter runner because of his height. It was like trying to turn a Ferrari into a truck because it's red. His breakthrough comes in 2004, when he runs 19.93 seconds in the 200 meters, becoming the first junior to break 20 seconds. For context, that's faster than most people can run 100 meters. The track and field world suddenly realizes they're watching something special, like discovering fire, but with more starting blocks. But Bolt being Bolt, he gets injured right before the 2004 Olympics. The running gods were apparently still calibrating their masterpiece. He shows up to Athens, finishes first in his heat, then gets eliminated in the first round. It was like watching Superman trip over his own cape. Technically possible, but historically disappointing. The lightning strikes. Beijing, 2008. Fast forward to 2008, and Bolt decides to focus on the 100 meters. A distance many thought was too short for his long legs. His coach was probably thinking, this is like asking a giraffe to do hurdles, but Bolt had other plans. The Beijing Olympics arrive, and Bolt strolls into the Bird's Nest Stadium like he owns the place. The 100-meter final is the most watched event in track and field. It's basically the Who's the Fastest Human Alive championship. The field is stacked with world-class sprinters who've been training their entire lives for this moment. Then the gun goes off, and something magical happens. Bolt doesn't just run, he launches himself into another dimension. By the 80-meter mark, he's so far ahead that he starts celebrating before crossing the finish line. He's chest-thumping, looking around, probably wondering if he should slow down to make it fair for everyone else. He crosses the line in 9.69 seconds, a new world record, while literally slowing down. Scientists later calculated that if he hadn't celebrated early, he could have run 9.55 seconds. That's not just fast, that's, did we just witness someone break the laws of physics? Fast. But Bolt wasn't done making jaws drop. 3 days later, he lines up for the 200 meters. His specialty. This time, he runs through the line and clocks 19.30 seconds, obliterating the world record by 0.02 seconds. In sprinting terms, that's like improving the world record in chess by inventing time travel. The pose that broke the internet. Now we need to talk about the pose. Bolt's signature lightning bolt celebration that became more famous than some actual historical monuments. Every time he won, he'd lean back, point to the sky, and strike his lightning bolt pose like he was personally thanking Zeus for the speed upgrade. This pose became so iconic that people started doing it everywhere. Wedding photos, graduation ceremonies, family barbecues. Bolt basically created a new form of human expression. Archaeologists in the future are going to find pictures of people doing the Bolt pose and think it was some kind of ancient religious ritual to the god of speed. The pose was perfect because it captured everything about Bolt. Confident, playful, and absolutely electric. Other athletes tried to copy it, but it was like trying to copy the Mona Lisa with crayons. You can do it, but everyone knows it's not the real thing. London 2012, the greatest show on Earth. The 2012 London Olympics arrive, and the pressure is immense. Bolt isn't just defending his titles, he's trying to prove that Beijing wasn't a fluke. The British press is calling it Bolt versus the world, which is basically accurate but sounds like a superhero movie. The 100-meter final takes place on what they call Super Saturday, a night when British athletes won 6 gold medals. But everyone's really there to see if lightning can strike twice. The stadium is electric. Pun absolutely intended. With 80,000 people holding their breath. Bolt gets a terrible start, which in sprinting is like starting a chess game by accidentally knocking over half your pieces. But then something incredible happens. He shifts into whatever gear is beyond overdrive and runs 9.63 seconds, setting a new Olympic record. The man literally ran faster than his own world record pace for 80 meters. 3 days later, he's back for the 200 meters, and this time, he's not taking any chances. He runs 19.32 seconds. Not a world record, but fast enough to make everyone else question their career choices. Then comes the 4x100 relay, where Jamaica runs 36.84 seconds, a world record that was so fast it made other countries consider switching to different sports entirely. The three-peat Rio 2016. By 2016, Bolt is 29 years old, which in sprinting years is like being 100 in regular years. Everyone's wondering if Father Time has finally caught up to the fastest man alive. The Rio Olympics are his chance to do something no sprinter has ever done. Win the same 3 events in 3 consecutive Olympics. The 100-meter final is closer than usual. Bolt wins in 9.81 seconds. Not his fastest, but still faster than everyone else on the planet. It's like complaining that your Ferrari is only going 200 miles per hour instead of 220 miles per hour. The man is literally running slower than his best and still making world-class athletes look like weekend joggers. The 200 meters is where Bolt really shows his class. He runs 19.78 seconds and wins by such a large margin that the photo finish looks like a time-lapse video. Then comes the 4x100 relay, the event that would complete his triple-triple. 3 gold medals in 3 consecutive Olympics. Jamaica wins in 37.27 seconds, and Bolt has achieved something that will probably never be repeated. He retires as the only sprinter to win the 100 meters, 200 meters, and 4x100 meters at 3 consecutive Olympics. It's like winning 3 different Nobel Prizes in 3 different years. Theoretically possible, but practically superhuman. The science of lightning. Let's talk numbers for a second, because Bolt's achievements are so ridiculous they sound made up. His world record in the 100 meters is 9.58 seconds. That's an average speed of 23.35 miles per hour. For comparison, that's faster than most people drive in residential neighborhoods. But here's the crazy part. Bolt reaches a top speed of nearly 28 miles per hour during his races. That means for a brief moment, this man is running faster than the speed limit in most school zones. He's literally a human vehicle that doesn't need fuel. Just confidence and really good running shoes. Scientists have studied Bolt extensively, trying to figure out how someone so tall can be so fast. Traditional sprinting wisdom said you need to be short and compact. Think of a bullet, not a javelin. But Bolt rewrote the physics textbook with his stride length and frequency combination that should have been impossible. His stride length is nearly 9 feet when he's at full speed. That means he's covering more ground per step than most people cover in 2 steps while walking. It's like he's playing a different sport than everyone else. They're running track. He's doing some kind of advanced form of human flight that just happens to involve touching the ground occasionally.